How many days 止めどないこの日々だけ好き、How many ways 数えきれない道をたどり、今となり初めてあの日の夢を見たんだ。守りたい平和が過去には確かにあったのか、思い出だけを頼りに僕らはまた繰り出す昔感じたぬくもり求めてまた戦う。How many days 止めどなく道な未来目指して、Are we okay 数えたくない別れも得て、信じたい光が差すいくつもの方向、その先に答えが必ず待っているんだと、思いをすべて捧げて、このままただ向かうさ、いつか苦しみが明ける時を追いかける、見える幻よりも深い Not over yet, over yet, not over yet, more than we can see. Oh, もうただ進むしかない、自分で探すべき Not over yet, over yet, it's much more than we have seen. 信じたい光が差すいくつもの方向、その先に答えが必ず待っているんだと、思い出だけを頼りに僕らはまた
Hello everyone, welcome back to 100 Line Less Defense Academy. I'm so sorry for the delay. Jesus Christ. I thought I was gonna get home early today, and I did by like 10 minutes. And I for some reason I thought those 10 minutes were like almighty, and I would have all the time in the world to prepare the heck out of myself and be like an hour early for the stream. As that was not the case. Hello, Punta. The song is doing magical work at relaxing me after I stressed the hell out of myself the whole day. Dude, there's something about this song, like, of course it's a song that's gonna mean a lot to us after being in this journey for so long. Like, this shit hits. Like, I feel like, not that I'm discrediting the song or anything, but I feel like when you add a song at the end of a fucking 12 billion hour story, that song is gonna hit you regardless of regardless of what the composition actually is. But on top of that, the composition is actually fantastical, and this song just hits the feel so hard. Hello, Muddy and Jared. Welcome. I feel like before we start the session, we need to talk a little bit about what happened last time, and not just as a recap, but just as like I just want to do a little bit of commentary on everything that happened, because I felt like last time I just couldn't get my thoughts out too much, and I just kind of want to chat a little bit before we start. Yeah, that's the song I was looking for. No, that's not the one. Isn't there a song they played during the last cutscene? I guess there wasn't. I guess it was just a song from before. Well, there's like this. I guess we'll have this. So last time in Last Defense Academy, we had the first ending in the list. Was called Farewell Last Defense Academy. Definitely the most poetical ending so far. Heated commentary with that. Seriously. And it goes even without saying. Like, it's not like I need to tell you, yeah, that was the best ending so far. It goes without saying. Out of all the endings we got so far, that was the first one that I looked at and was like, this is an ending. Like, they're actually ending the story. Because so far, I've been very critical about all of those endings, despite being really cool, despite being really awesome, some of them being extremely good. I've been very adamant about not labeling any of them as like an S tier ending, something that really, truly changed me, right? Now, this ending, Farewell Last Defense Academy, that ending is what I would consider like one of the best endings Kazutaka Kodaka has ever pulled off. And it honestly sort of recontextualized the whole game for me. Because now I can't think of these characters in the same light as before. And I mean that in the most positive way possible. Because I would oftentimes just like randomly throughout my day think about the story, think about these characters, and just how much I like them. I love the cast of this game. I love so many of these characters and this story as a whole. And now when I find myself thinking about them again, I just have this very strong, bittersweet feeling. And it's all because of this ending. It's only started happening after this ending, and sometimes I even find myself getting a little misty-eyed thinking about the ending itself and how everything sort of led up to it. I feel like, honestly speaking, you can make an argument, and as someone who still hasn't played Rank Code Master Detective Archives, I've played all the Danganronpa games, of course, I feel like you can make an argument that this is the most emotion-packed ending that Kazutaka Kodaka has ever done. It's like not my top one, but this ending was so well done in the sense that it added like a perfect conclusion to all of the story beats that the game's been sort of building up throughout so many of its different intertwining narratives that I honestly can't help but tip my hat to it. Like, I just can't help but tip my hat to it. Really. I even talked a little about it in last session, but I think the idea of having the Academy itself, the object we've been given our lives to protect for literally the entire run so far, being sort of our last enemy in the game, in the story, as us collectively, as creatures who didn't have a choice in this game. Really, if you think about it, we didn't have a choice. We were just put in the situation, and our only option was to fight. Our only option was to keep fighting for humanity, fighting to protect the Last Defense Academy. And in a game about choices, about decisions, I think it's really powerful that our final decision is to defy Siri and take on Last Defense Academy as our opponent. And everyone together, with trust in their decision, collectively on the same page, which is so rare on this game to have all the characters in the same page, working towards the same goal. to stop the genocide, to stop the war, to put an end to the suffering, to the misery. And then the SDU itself, the thing that was supposed to protect Last Defense Academy, ends up being the thing that destroys it and ultimately puts an end to the war. And then you have Nozomi, who wasn't a part of the Special Defense Unit, and she was a human. And the humans are the creatures that decided to defeat the Futurans, that decided to conquer their own planet for their own sake. And Nozomi, being the last human alive, she has that responsibility of carrying not only the wishes of humanity, but also the wishes of the Special Defense Unit, of her friends that she made, of Takumi. And choosing to end the war rather than just immediately act with violence as we've been taught so far, and realizing that at the end of the day, we are species so similar that really the only thing that we all want is just to live in peace with each day, just like the day before and the day before that. And how that perfectly brings us back to the prologue. I thought it was so beautiful. There's so much poetry in it, and I love that. I always love when stories do that. It's one of the things that I love about Kazutaka Kodaka writing in general, and it's something they do in Danganronpa a lot, especially, I would say, in my opinion, so far, the best Kazutaka Kodaka story so far has been Danganronpa V3, and I love it because of the beautiful thematic work that it does, and the incredible, like, philosophy of that game. And let's not get too much into it, but I do love in this game how it sort of flipped a little bit of my expectations, because you have the prologue of the game, this main character that sort of points out how mundane life really is, and you sort of see that in other characters, even like Hiruko, like Darumi. I think Hiruko being an extremely good example, and hence why she's one of the key characters in this game, because she didn't find her life very exciting. In fact, quite the contrary, she found it very boring, and the only way she really got to live life to the fullest potential was by fighting the invaders. It was in those battles and those visceral fights that she was able to truly let herself out and live instead of just surviving. And even someone like Yugamo, he found his passion in killing, and when they die at the end of the story, you get to see this beautiful sort of circular arc in which they find solace in that, because finally they get to rest and they don't have to do any of that anymore. They don't have to cause damage, to cause havoc in order to just feel like themselves, and everything just sort of fades in achieving that sort of not internal but also external peace in the end of the story. Of course, the internal peace being the peace of death, and the external peace being the fact that the war has ended, that we attained peace as like a mutual species, not as enemies, but as allies. The fact that we find peace in both ways, it sort of really emphasizes how we went back to living our regular days, how we went back to mundane, and how that in and of itself is what we just wanted all along. We sort of longed for that, and we just didn't realize how beautiful those days are. And like, you know, I made a reference to one of my favorite songs, Ordinary, from Alex Warren, in the title of the stream. Will make the mundane our masterpiece, because I do feel like there is a lot of beauty in just regular days. I am someone who I commented about this a little bit, I think, last stream, but I am not necessarily someone who thinks life is that magical thing that you have to live to the fullest, you have to do all those crazy things in your life, because, you know, of course that's cool, but I feel like there's also a lot of beauty in simple things in life, and I am I don't think purpose or happiness is necessarily tied to those grander achievements, but rather to just finding something you really like in your life and that you wanna enjoy in the time you've been given. And for many people, that's different things. And I think for me personally, that has always been art and video games and good shows, good movies, good stories, good books. I feel like there's like it's kind of cliche to say it like that, but I feel like it's sort of my calling. And I found myself enjoying life because of art, and it's always been sort of the thing that if I were to define my life for, and it's always been art, and it's like that one simple thing that so many people would find weird. Like, yeah, like, is your entire life this? And I'm like, yeah, what is wrong with that? Like, I'm super happy. I love the fact that I'm able to live and experience those incredible stories because they make me want to live more and get to see more and more great stories like that. So I do like relate to this ending a lot in so many ways, and just from a writing / narrative perspective, it's so good. There's so much you can say about it. I haven't even scratched the surface. But this is sort of my general opinion on it. I think it's so good. I cannot understate that. I feel like it's so rare for me to react so strongly to an ending. Because in the last stream, you see, I was legit ugly crying for the last 1 hour of that stream. And this is not normal. Like, I get emotional in games. Of course I do. But this is not normal. The last time that happened to me was in Omori. And even games that I played this year that I thought were phenomenal, the games that I honestly would even sometimes rank above this one, did not make me feel like that. Tokyo Necro is the first one that surfaces to mind. And even though I think that game is incredible, and it was like my top 5 game of all time a while ago, I'm like, it might still be, but the fact that this right here has made me feel like that for this one ending, it makes me wanna consider this as my 5th favorite game of all time, because it like I said, it recontextualizes the entire experience for me. It's such a well done ending, more so than most endings I have seen like ever. And it almost baffles me how this was not locked behind a story lock. I find myself conflicted emotionally about the ending in the sense that I wish this was my last ending of the game, because I don't expect any other ending to have the same emotional punch of it. This is the first ending that I would really classify as an S tier ending in this game. No other ending has come even close, and like I said, I've been very critical about them in that sense. It's one of the things that I kept talking about, like, no ending in this game truly feels quote-unquote satisfying in the normal sense of the word, in the normal sense that you think of an ending in a story. And that immediately led me thinking that this game would have a true ending of some sort. And then we got into the story locks, and I was like, oh yeah, this game will have a true ending. But then I put my entire expectations on the story locks. I thought that was gonna be the one true ending of the story, or, well, they would like have 3 different endings with all the 3 story locks. I don't know, like, I put my entire expectations on those. So it came as a surprise to me when we were entering this route and we started getting so many details, so much of what I expected to be in the true ending, just in a random ass route. And I was like, why are they giving us so much? This feels so endgame. This feels unnatural for all of the other routes we've played so far. It was like this dissonant feeling, and I felt like something was up with this. I felt like they were giving us too much. And they were, because apparently this is one of those true endings that I so dreamed about. And in one hand, I feel a little sad that it wasn't behind a story lock, because, like I said, I don't expect any other ending to beat this one emotionally. of course, I do have high expectations for the endings behind the story looks. I do think they're gonna do phenomenal and mind-blowing things with the plot lines we have so far, like the geese, the sponsor, the liver mortis codes, the fact that we have a time loop and we might even go back in time to stop Takumi from time traveling. Like, the Hideko is also gonna be a big part of that. Maybe she's even gonna, like I said, maybe she's gonna have to sacrifice herself at some point to break the time loop. The fact that this route ended the way it did with a sunrise supposedly on day 101 implies that the time loop was broken, which leads you to think that Takumi and Hideko are the cause of the time loop, and with their deaths we're able to break that time loop. But then maybe there is a way to, instead of undoing it by killing them, maybe we can undo it by going back in time and preventing the time travel to begin with. And then it could get into some crazy paradoxes. It could get really weird. And I think they're gonna do some things really interesting with that. Because, of course, the idea that you have a time loop that repeats your days over and over again with no end to it, and we have a theme of mundanity, right, of the mundane, of the days that are just like before. I feel like they have an open field to make some really interesting narratives with the theme in mind. And so I do have high expectations for the endings, but I don't think they're gonna pack the same punch as Farewell Last Defense Academy did. Still, I like the fact that that was a random ending. This is sort of one of the things I was missing from this game. Like, it's a game that has 100 endings, and so far it never had an ending that truly made me feel like the story was complete. And this one finally hit that nail. So I'm so happy that I got to experience this. This, like I said, I can't understate how much that elevated the entire game for me. I'm looking at it from an entire different light, and I very much appreciate that. And like I said, it's a little sad that it wasn't behind a story lock, but it's also cool that it was so unexpected because it hit me out of nowhere, and that honestly probably made me feel more like more attached to it than it would if it was behind a story lock. So I do have like a weird relationship with that particular aspect of it, but of course I love this ending. So good. Well, I guess right now we are moving to we're moving back to the timeline, and we're gonna choose not to defy Siri at the end of the route and see where we go from there, because I do believe that we might do something with Eito. It might be a very quick ending, honestly. I don't think they're gonna do anything remotely similar to this ending. What happened in the previous stream? Honestly, I forgot. It was very forgettable. So yeah, I don't think this is gonna be remotely as complex as this ending. I do feel like they're gonna do something with Eito. I think it's very likely that they're gonna do that. I would find it interesting if Eito decided to sacrifice himself for humanity. I feel like that would be one of the options that they could do with him. Because one of my theories has been that Eito would sacrifice himself for Nozomi in the very end, but I guess not. At least not in this route. But yeah, I don't have many predictions for this. I'm just like interested in seeing. Because like, it's not like he can't sacrifice himself for humanity. What am I talking about? Humanity's dead. Forget I ever said that. So honestly, for the first time, I don't have many predictions on this. I do feel like this is gonna sort of be like a bad ending in the sense that it's gonna feel incomplete, and that's all I have for it. I feel like we're just gonna succumb to Siri and never get to truly achieve that inner peace that we so long for. So yeah, pain. That's a great way of describing it. You could have summarized the entire 22 minutes I've been talking in that one word, and it would have all stayed the same. Sorry for the long-winded commentary. I felt like I needed to get some things off my chest. I really just wanted to talk about that. No, I can't. I don't want to lose anyone anymore. The battle is finally over. I want to carry on living with my friends all here. Huh? Then...
Hey!
Let's do what Siri says. I can't risk your lives any further. Are you sure you won't regret this? I'm already full of regrets. That's why I want to protect what matters most. Right now, that's everyone here. I'm making this choice to protect all of you.
Takumi.
Hey, are you having fun talking without me? I don't know what you're jabbering on about, but... I told you what happens after this, right? Once the school transitions to attack mode, you need to evacuate to the schoolyard where the escape pod will be, okay?
Hey!
I'll be on my way then. Thanks for the memories, folks. Siri left with a smile, and all we could do was watch him. A little after that, Nozomi showed up. Takumi. Everyone. Nozomi, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine, but more importantly, your talk with Siri. Oh, you heard? Well, it's like I was saying. I've thought about it, and I don't want to lose anyone else. I feel like this is our only option. So we just follow the plan they made for us? I know it's not right, but I want all of us to finish this together. That's my decision. I see. Okay, if that's your choice, Takumi, then I'll accept it. We'll live with our guilt. Interesting way of putting it. I agree. We got no other choice. I don't want to die for a bunch of strangers. They'll hardly forgive us for invading their planet just because we stopped one attack. In the end, we'll just have to fight again. It'll only continue that way until the end up ahead. Oh, until we end up dead. You're right. I intend to follow the decisions made by our team leader. I always have. Seeing as we've come this far, we might as well continue living as ugly as we might be. We were all saying what we could to reaffirm our choice. But as we were talking, the alarm... yeah, of course Nozomi isn't very complacent with this decision, because she's all about us living for our sakes instead of anything else. So like the idea that we're living with this guilt and we're still like decimating an entire race, it feels like a little contrived for her, most definitely. Oh, it could also just be the effects of the rejection symptoms. Suddenly, Nozomi let out a pained whimper and collapsed with a thud. Nozomi! I hurried over and felt a burning fever emanating from her body. Also, I wonder if we're still getting Eito to sacrifice himself. So, was I right in the end? You're burning up! It's okay. I'll be over soon. It's like the cryptoglobin oh my god. It's like the cryptoglobin leaving my body is flaring up one last time. When this is over, the power of the cryptoglobin will be gone. This is the end of my time with this power my mother gave me. That's how it should be. This is the real you. Immediately after that, strange music began to play through the speakers. Yeah, that's the graduation music. What the heck is that? I think I know. Listen, it's the music they play for graduation ceremonies and stuff. I've never been to a graduation, though. My teachers hated me, so I didn't get invited. So it started.
The most important moment of this operation will soon begin. Lost Defense Academy will now transition to attack mode.
Attack mode? What's going to happen now? Wait, be quiet. Do you hear that? It's mechanical. Something is running somewhere.
An omnidirectional attack will launch in 600 seconds. Special Defense Unit members, please evacuate to the schoolyard immediately.
Looks like it's time. Let's get to the schoolyard quick. If we stay here, we'll get caught up on the attack. Right. Let's get going. Nozomi, wanna go together? Here, take my hand. Yeah, thanks. Hey, could someone lend me a hand too? I can't see, so I can't move very fast. Oh, for the love of murder. If you insist. But don't you dare tell me I reek or anything like that. Am I forgetting anything? Maybe I'll stop by my room before I go. And so, following the announcement, everyone began to make their way to the schoolyard. I better get going too. At this size, I wouldn't be surprised if someone accidentally got shut inside. Interesting. It's a little late for this, but the racial-matic looks really unique, huh? Sacred, even. Interesting. I like this this random commentary. We have a Candy-O-matic. That's right, we never mentioned this. How many colors are there in all? Maybe I can pass the time by counting them. Can't they up the resolution on these screens? I see artifacts on them sometimes, and that's scary. Alright. Soon after I got to the schoolyard, everyone else started to show up as well. What's the deal? Nothing's happening. I thought it was supposed to go into attack mode. No, look at that. Tsubasa pointed to the top of the school building. It was just like it's seen last time. Several huge missile turrets jutted out from the top of the school building.
So, that's attack mode.
Those are some crazy-ass cannons.
They're going to launch a bunch of undying flame missiles all across the planet, huh?
A weapon that can destroy all life on an entire planet. What a terrifying force.
I like how we're emphasizing the idea that everyone is gonna get decimated by these.
An omnidirectional attack will launch in 400 seconds.
The interesting thing is that we're theoretically gonna be received we were gonna be received with open arms by humanity, because we did accomplish the mission. Oh no, why do I keep thinking that humanity is alive? Fucking Christ. Forget I ever said that. Dude, it's such a weird concept to have humanity actually exploded. I keep forgetting that. I keep fucking forgetting that. Oh my god, it's like such a big plot point. I don't know why it keeps like slipping my mind. Never mind. Stupid.
Leading up to the omnidirectional attack, all defenses will be rerouted to the intercept system.
Yeah, that's the thing we discovered about in the other route. The intercept system? Come to think of it, I heard it last time too. We never did find out what it meant. But I guess we don't need to worry about it anymore.
Special Defense Unit members, please board the escape pod in the schoolyard immediately. Repeat. An omnidirectional attack will launch in 390 seconds. Special Defense Unit members, please board the escape pod in the schoolyard immediately. An omnidirectional attack will launch momentarily. Please depart immediately after boarding the escape pod. Repeat, an omnidirectional attack will launch momentarily. An omnidirectional attack will launch momentarily. Please depart immediately after boarding the escape pod.
Heard you the first time, girl.
Repeat, an omnidirectional attack will launch momentarily.
Heard you the second time, too. It's gonna happen any second now. We gotta hurry. I don't want to be burnt to a crisp. Yeah, we just gotta get in that thing, right? Wasn't the spot supposed to go to the artificial satellite? Will we be okay even if there is no satellite anymore? It's alright. I've reconfigured the destination to where? To here again? I hope so, Siri. I hope you're not sending us to the sun. Siri. Even at the very end, you're still appearing out of nowhere. I came to see you off and wish you bon voyage. Did you say you reconfigured our destination? No sense in sending you to the artificial satellite when it's been destroyed, right? There's no humanity left to meet you there either. So you did realize that. I thought the shock of knowing they were gone broke you. I don't break, silly. And humanity isn't gone. Why? Because Nozomi is here?
Aha!
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's one of the things I've been talking about. We still have her. Miss Nozomi Kirifuji. The will of humanity wishes for Nozomi's survival. Funnily enough, she still survives on the other ending, where we defy you. You're the last human left in this universe, after all. So after simulating the thoughts of all mankind, now they've been wiped out, they want to stake all their hopes on Nozomi. Me?
Yeah.
Yes, it is the collective will and wish of humanity to ensure the survival of Nozomi Kirifuji, the last of the human race. That is also why we must complete this mission as planned. I doubt the people of this planet would let the last human survive unscathed. It's all for her, all for humanity. So this will all be because of me now. Everybody on this planet has to die because of me? Come on, the Futurans won't all be gone. We have 11 of them right here. That's not the same thing, Siri. You mean us? No, Yugamo, he means the grass. The mission has entered a new phase. Your survival is critical. What do you mean? Humanity has chosen a new path, bro. Remember when I kept talking about how in the true ending, maybe Nozomi and Takumi would have like a baby, and because that baby would be like half future and half human, it would symbolize the true truce between the two species. I wonder if Siri's plan here is to repopulate mankind using Nozomi. Now the Kirifuji is all alone. It is impossible for the human race to continue.
Hey.
So she'll instead coexist with you Futurans. And... And the hope is that I knew it. I knew it. Bro, what the fuck? Humanity 2.0. Dude, fucking Adam and Eve. I hate how I like knew how I knew exactly where this was going. Bro, Takumi's gonna get so flustered. Oh, this is giving me flashbacks to a particular scene in Danganronpa. Trigger happy havoc. Jesus. I choked on my tea. And the hope is that you will interbreed and create a new humanity.
Interbreed?
Of course, we'd like all of you to reproduce, not just Kitty Fuji. The human and future survivors will begin a new era on this planet.
Dude, Ima's not gonna let anyone 2 feet next to Kako. A new era? With just the 12 of us?
Which of you will have babies together? I have some ideal pairs in my head, starting with... Cut it out, man. This ain't time for the jokes.
Aha!
Anyway, that's your mission now. We're going to hit the reset button on this war, and you're going to build a peaceful world, devoid of hate.
We chosen few are going to purify this hideous, filthy world and build it anew. Bro, why you gotta say it like a corny villain?
Hey!
He's right, though. This coordinated attack is not the end. Rather, it's the beginning of a new story. A harmonious future for a new humanity. Right here on this planet.
It's a high price we're going to have to pay for this harmonious future. Yeah, even if they do say that there's no creation without destruction, in fact, some people say that destruction is just a new form of creation. Read Book of Bill from Gravity Falls.
This was your choice, wasn't it? You wanted to live on, hand in hand with your friends.
That's one way to put it. This is like turning out not to be as depressing as I thought it was gonna be. Like, it's still gonna... We're still gonna have like some form of solace here and some things to look forward to. I thought this was gonna be a little more bleak, quite honestly.
That's exactly why the will of humanity trusts you with your new mission.
He's right. We chose this. I've already made my decision. I'm going to live on with everybody here, no matter what happens. We all want that. We'll just have to make it work.
20 seconds until the omnidirectional attack. Commencing countdown. Special Defense Unit members, please board the escape pod in the schoolyard immediately.
Yeah.
Whoops, looks like it's almost out of time. Then I'll be saying goodbye. For now.
Oh. For now.
Undying flames only affect living creatures, so I should be fine as long as the blast doesn't send me into space. Well, only one way to find out. See you later if I'm still in one piece.
It was then that I suddenly felt it. His presence. Ooh, is it FB? Of course it is.
Looks like I'm just in time.
Xian, you came!
Yeah, but I don't have much power left. I really only have time to say goodbye. You all, there's the last bit of extra power to the lack of unnecessary disruptions. I'm sure all of you were conflicted, but I'm glad you made this choice. The one thing I want more than anything is for all of you to live on. That's my whole reason for being.
Xian!
It would be cruel of me to call you cruel for this choice. Because I feel that your lives are more important than the lives of strangers. I guess this is really goodbye. Everyone, thank you for everything. And farewell. You fought enough. Please, live your lives happily and joyfully.
Based Xian. And with that, Xian vanished, like a flame being extinguished. Shion. Happily and joyfully. As much as I want to grant Shion's last request, it's just not going to happen. We know far too much to live out our future with any sense of cheer or joy. We'd lost far too much. And we'd slaughtered far too many. The idea of ever smiling from true joy again was like an impossible dream.
Yeah.
No, you can do it. If you want to. That is,
Now you're pulling Kato's philosophy here. You can do it if you try.
60 seconds until the omnidirectional attack. Commencing countdown. Repeat.
I'm interested in seeing how exactly this is gonna turn out at the very end. What is the last scene of this ending? Well, that explains that one CG that I didn't remember having. The 12 of us aboard the escape pod launched into the emptiness of space. We were completely overwhelmed by the sights unfolding outside the windows, unable to speak. And then, we were just as overwhelmed by the beauty of the planet we'd made our exit from. That's the planet Futurum. The planet both humanity and the Futurans risked everything for. Its overwhelming majesty was so powerful that it seemed to consume all life and death. It was so beautiful that it made me feel afraid. The very next moment, yeah, it's gonna be scorched. My vision was instantaneously dazzled by a flash of light. The bombing had begun. The planet was enveloped by Shion's flames. Every last person residing on it burned to ash. This is the ending we chose. Yeah, that's way more in line with what I was expecting for this ending. The very realization made me tremble and sob uncontrollably. In any other situation, I'd never forget this moment for the rest of my life. Right. In any other situation, interesting way to allude to the idea of multiple timelines here. Siri had said one last thing as the countdown drew nearer to its end in the schoolyard. Yeah, you can do it if you want to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
if it will help you make your new world, if you really need it, I'll help you. I'll help you live without your pain.
Are you saying you can make us forget all about it? Ah, man, we can't accept that. We can't choose to forget that. What do you mean? We cannot accept that. We have to live with this because it's part of us. If we lose that side of us, we already lost too much, so we can't lose that. We can't lose ourselves. Perhaps he's going to override our memories. Our memories?
Already a new scenario for you in the infirmary before you're back.
I hate that they label it as new scenario because that implies like timeline shit. And I don't like the sound of that.
If you accept it, you can forget all of our pain. You live a new life in this school. It may confuse you at first, but I'm sure you'll be able to live happily and joyfully, just like Shion wanted.
But all of those memories would be lies.
What's wrong with memories that aren't real?
Oh.
If reality hurts too much, you can turn to fiction instead. You can live happily in a world of lies.
I mean, that is true, but that does not mean that it's still manipulative. It's still like escapism.
There is no value in knowing what is or isn't true. What's important is how you feel and how you connect it to your future.
I can agree with that as well. It's like a very complex argument because I agree with both sides.
Yeah.
All of this so that you can live happily ever after, hand in hand.
Oh.
I won't force you, of course. Think about it while you're on your way back. I wonder if we're gonna have a last decision here. I would be surprised. The light that had once been so bright... the light that had been once so bright it lit up the vacuum of space slowly began to fade. What remained afterwards was a planet that looked completely unchanged. And yet, it was entirely different. It was empty now. No elders, no youths, no children. All of them gone. If it's true that planets have minds of their own, I wonder what this one's thinking. Yeah, seriously. Will it accept us after everything we've done? I don't know. I have no idea, but we have no choice but to live on. We are the ones who have to press on and believe in our decision. I've already made up my mind. Oh, is it gonna be left ambiguous? It's gotta be left open-ended, isn't it? Yep. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that they leave it open-ended. That's really interesting. I never get to know what Takumi's decision was. That's pretty cool, actually. What the fuck? Bro. Bro. Excuse me. Bro. No, they're not doing this. Oh, they're not doing this. I can't believe it. It's the 100-line 3, bro. It's actually real. We joked about this so many times. They actually chose to erase their memories. That's so crazy. Welcome back to the third snap. Bro, stop. Stop, guys. Oh my god. Oh my...
Where am I?
Bro. I came to with my head resting on a hard wooden desk. I hate this game. I actually fucking hate this game. Can I see the chapter select? Okay, I don't want to look at the chapter select. I don't want to look at the chapter select. We'll see where this goes. Bro, I'm like, I can't even say anything. I'm just like, my senses are all turned off now. My head still felt fuzzy as I tried to make sense of my surroundings.
A classroom?
Did I fall asleep at my desk? Is this my desk? How did I even get here? I don't remember a thing.
What happened to me?
Do you know anybody here, bro? Looking around the classroom only brought more questions. Dude, oh my fucking Christ. They even restored Ato's eyes somehow. What the fuck? How did they even do that? How did they even do that? His fucking eyes were out of the revival-matic. How did they do that? Oh my fucking Christ. What the fuck is happening? Several others my own age were also here. Each of them is lumped over a desk, just like it'd been a moment ago. I fucking hate this game, bro. Huh? But where am I? Who are you guys? I love that their names are all question marks. Holy shit. How did I get here? I'd never met any of them before. Judging from the uneasy glances they were all throwing around, nobody else seemed to know each other either. Guess what is this place anyway? Some kind of messed up classroom? More importantly, I don't know why, but I can't remember anything. They didn't bring Kurata, Kyoshika, and Tatami back to life. Seriously, I'm so disappointed on them. I don't remember anything either. All I know is the pretty girl next to me is my little sister. Where am I? Who am I? So they don't even know who they are? That's crazy, bro. I'm in the same boat. All I can remember is that I'm a beautiful pro wrestler. A pro wrestler? So that's why she's dressed like that. Looks like everyone here has amnesia then. Amnesia? How are you so chill about it? I guess I just have that kind of personality.
How bizarre. We only remember some parts of our personalities and characters. I wonder if Hideko did not forget at all.
Ah.
For me, I remember I was raised in a family of physicians, but nothing else. Whoa. So they actually like took out Yugamu's memories of his murderer relatives. That's crazy, actually. Because yeah, I guess they want to stop the killings, so they would try to take out all of those memories that could go against that wish. That's very interesting. I only remember. Wow, it's like kind of the opposites of everyone. That's crazy. I only remembered that I was really popular in class. Oh my god! I was gonna say, bro, when they panned over to Eito, I was like, bro, do you love humanity now? I couldn't get my words out before the text appeared. Bro, this is so ridiculous. I hate this game. I hate this writer so much. All I remember is how much I love humanity. He loves humanity? What does that even mean? I know, right? Wow, that thing Bruh. Wait, I was gonna say, are you rich now, Gaku? But yeah, I guess he's like part of a nuclear family now. He does not have his foster siblings anymore. That Eito line sounds so fake. Bro, we talked about it yesterday. It's a parallel universe. I feel like you're right. I don't remember having that conversation, but I also feel like that's something we talked about. Well, the thing about me is I was raised in your average family in an average way, so I don't really have anything in particular. Before the boy could finish, something interrupted him. Hello, Siri. What is the liar gonna come up with? Words appeared on the blackboard with a sudden chime of a bell. Huh? Greet your commanding officer? Did someone say a commanding officer? That's me!
Yeah?
What is that?
It's my pleasure to welcome you all to Last Defense Academy.
Last Defense Academy.
Yeah.
You're all transferred to this academy for a very special reason. You need to breed. Transferred. I have a mission for you to carry out here at our fine institution. There's something we need you to protect at all costs, and that is yourselves. We want you to protect yourselves.
Huh?
The breeding line. The 100 line 2 is real. Well, more like the 100 line 3. Ourselves.
Yeah.
You see, you are the 12 final survivors of an annihilated world.
An annihilated world? Final survivors?
So you just have one important responsibility to handle here.
Bro, I'm so like... I'm like just going with the flow, but I feel like internally I'm like, where the fuck is this going? Because they haven't... The problem is, if they had actually stated the ending name before, I would assume that this was like actually a new timeline. The fact that they haven't stated means that the ending is still gonna happen. Like, we're gonna have like a black screen with the name of the ending, and probably that's where it's gonna end. But I'm also considering the possibility that this is actually like a different, completely like new scenario that we can actually play out. But I feel like that's too much. I don't think they're gonna do that. Otherwise, they would have had the ending title earlier. They only had the credits because they wanted to do the fake out.
You need to stay alive no matter what.
Sure thing, Siri.
You'll need to develop this planet and create a new civilization.
Sure.
You'll have to build this world from the ground up. You're free to develop facilities that can withstand environmental threats, or even to grow new organisms using synthetic DNA.
I love the use of this song right here, the Everyday Last Defense Academy song. That's awesome.
You'll make friends, fall in love, and sometimes maybe even fight with each other as you join hands and live caring lives.
This really is Shion's wish.
Yours is not to reason why. Yours is just to live your lives.
Fair enough, Siri. Well put.
Now get out there and live like you've never lived before.
And that's how it truly ends, isn't it? Do we get our reactions? Nah. Reese. I got chills, guys, I got chills. Wait, guys, I got chills. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way to do this. There's, what the fuck, what? Wait. Hold on. Oh. Reset, wait, what? Okay, I guess I just freaked out for no reason. I guess I freaked out for no reason. Why do they label this as a reset route? That's so misleading. Oh, that's so misleading. Why the fuck do they do that? Oh my god, what, bro? Why do they label this as a reset route? Bro. After decision? Bro, there's no way. Oh.
Hey!
Was I baited? Bro, I was so fucking baited. Dude. Oh my god. Imagine you come back here after a final way to escape the loop. I mean, theoretically, this is already out of the loop. Bro, I actually fucking hate this. Oh my god, that... I've never been baited so hard in my life. I was freaking out. Okay, I was freaking out. Because, like, I was not... I didn't think they were gonna do it. It was too much. But then they named the route Reset Route. Bro. Oh my god. These sons of bitches. I hate them. Oh, man. Jesus fucking Christ. You know, I will say, I like a lot how the titles for the endings are sort of opposites, because one ending is called Farewell Last Defense Academy, and the second one is called Welcome to Last Defense Academy, right? I feel like that's very clever. I hate them for naming this reset route. I actually fucking hate their guts for that. I actually want to punch Kodaka in the face right now. And this is not the first time I feel this way. Oh, man. I hate to know he finally got to tell Takumi that he loved him, and now this is the ending. Seriously. Who knows with these writers? Maybe there is a third reset route. Honestly, the fact that I cannot even deny that is crazy enough. Oh, boys and girls. Jesus fucking Christmas, bro. I lost my voice just screaming out of that. This puts me in a weird spot though, because this one was Last Defense Academy second scenario, and for a while this has been called Second Last Defense Academy, not Second Last Defense Academy, Last Defense Academy second scenario. But I think this only refers to this like one specific line here, right? Like ever since the beginning, this has been called like Last Defense Academy second scenario. But I guess like everything that deviates from it is gonna be a different route. So this right here, it's not gonna be the same route anymore. And I thought this route was gonna have like so many endings, but it's gonna be different ones. And I guess reset route only has one ending too. Bro, I was so baited, dog. That was awful. Oh man. Okay, let's reject Eito, boys. This is gonna be very sad. Oh my god. This is right after he ripped out his eyes. Jesus, man. Bro, we lost it so hard. Oh my god. Why did it? My soul just left my body, dog. Wow. I didn't even know what to say, dude. Sorry, Ato, but I just... I get it. You don't have to spell it out.
Huh?
What? My other senses have been greatly heightened now that I've lost my sense of sight. Interesting, so you're more perceptive towards people's reactions and thought patterns. I already know what you're going to say next just from your general vibe. I can also sense how agonizing this decision is for you. So it is enough. You don't have to say anymore. I'm not interested in putting you in yet another painful position. Ato. I could blame you for not wanting me to join, right? Those glitched memories embedded in me may have been the root cause, but it doesn't change the fact that I chose to do what I did. Man, that's really depressing, actually. But you destroyed your own eyes, too. I did it because I wanted to, and certainly not to garner sympathy. Yeah, that's right. I knew something like this wasn't going to be enough to regain your trust. I knew it wouldn't conveniently make us friends again. I knew all this, but I still couldn't stop myself from holding out hope. Yeah, you just wanted to be our friend. Ah, this is painful, man. I may lie to people on the outside, but I never lie to myself. It goes against my nature. Yeah, I agree with that. That is true. Now that that's settled, if you allow this public nuisance to beat a hasty retreat. Retreat? Where, Tear Cage? You're gonna leave with your eyes like that?
Huh?
The invaders will get you. Your ugly concern is most gratifying, but there is no need to spare me any. Like I mentioned, my other senses have been greatly heightened. I expect to have no issues handling any invaders I come across. Also, this won't be my first time leaving the academy. I probably know more about the outside world than any of you. It's still too dangerous. Just because I don't want you back on the team doesn't mean I want to force you to leave the whole school. If you promise to stay in your cell and not interfere with any of us, you can stay. I feel sorry for him. Yeah, same. This is actually really painful. Poor guy. Like, if you put yourself in Ato's shoes here, like, it's so unfair, but at the same time, you can't really blame them. Have you forgotten this facility was built for the Special Defense Unit? It's no place for someone who doesn't belong. Am I right, Sirei?
Yeah.
Aotsuki is correct. Anyone not recognized as an ally is naturally viewed as a dangerous element. An element that can only work to our detriment and never to our benefit. Therefore, she must leave.
That makes it easier for me to get over my feelings too, now that I no longer have to put up with your unbearable voices and smell.
You little piece of chicken shit. Always the same right down to the end, huh?
Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the same right down to the end, huh? Always the
I shall be responsible for seeing you off. I expect you haven't gotten used to your newfound blindness yet and may need a little bit of help getting around. This is my duty and obligation as your commanding officer.
The commanding officer has spoken. The rest of you can just stay put. Not like I could see your hideous mugs even if you did come. Besides, there's something I need to speak about in private with Siri before I leave. I wonder if you're gonna ask for your infuser, maybe? I wonder. With me, because I wonder if he's gonna try to take down Veshin all on his own. If you don't mind, consider it my last wish. Or maybe he's gonna ask Siri to protect them at all costs, to not allow any more deaths in the Special Defense Unit. I could see it going both ways, honestly.
Yeah.
Very well. You may tell me along the way. You were still considered a member of the Special Defense Unit while on school grounds.
Thank you. Very much obliged.
This is goodbye. Forever. You miserable freaks. And you may not think me sincere when I say this, but
Oh man, did you realize the crack in his voice?
this is goodbye. Forever. You miserable freaks. And you may not think me sincere when I say this, but this is goodbye. I pray from the bottom of my heart that you will win this war. Good luck.
Aww. This is painful, bro. After that, under Siri's guidance, I made my way carefully through Last Defense Academy in— Oh, wait, is this Ato's POV? That's crazy. For how long this is gonna last? For how long this is gonna last? I'm so interested. After that, under Siri's guidance, I made my way carefully through Last Defense Academy in total darkness.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I love that we got to be in Ato's POV. That's actually insane because we get to see the request. Damn, that's so sick, dude. Oh, I love this. I'm so into this.
Here are a few days' worth of rations as a farewell gift from me.
Well, this is surprisingly thoughtful coming from someone who only really cares about victory. I continued conversing with Siri as I walked next to him in darkness. It may have been the first time we had ever spoken at leisure. A manifestation of guilt for embedding those glitches into my brain? I don't know, man. Maybe the will of humanity does feel a little bit of guilt. Yeah, he's not gonna reveal it, maybe.
Defects are inevitable. The brain, especially the human brain, is a complicated organ no one completely understands yet.
Exactly. It's certainly something that Ato also does not understand, but he has learned that complexity in and of itself is part of the beauty of humanity as opposed to its ugliness, right? Because no matter how rotten they are and their actions can be, they can still create things and relationships that surpass the ugliness that he perceived on the outside. And that's what ultimately changed his opinion.
Huh? It was no mean feat getting everyone combat ready with the limited time and resources available to us. There was no time for multiple rounds of tests or verifications, although we did conduct an endless amount of simulations.
Yet, even with that, out came someone like me. I don't know what to call this, but destiny. After Siri and I finished talking, I left Les Defense Academy behind. I remained cautious of my bedarkened surroundings as I moved through the city ruins, using my feet to feel the rubble. Even though I had proudly declared that I could handle myself, moving around in total darkness was still rather mentally straining. Damn. Darkness. 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 Everywhere I went, I was greeted by pure, unadulterated darkness, with not a speck of light to be found. And of course they're like using this as a metaphor for how he found light. He found like, even with his eyes ripped out, he still managed to see some light when he was next to the SDU. I couldn't be sure what was on the road ahead of me. Did anybody come see me off? Even though I said there was no need. Oh my god, dude. I don't want to cry. I already cried so much last time. Right? He wanted to someone to see him off, right? Oh my gosh, dude. I hope someone shows up and actually, you know, I hope that, honestly, maybe one of the reasons why they're giving us Eito's POV is because Takumi is actually gonna come here and give him a farewell, right? And it's supposed to put you in his shoes to experience that encounter from his perspective. And I'm so interested. Like, I love this. I honestly don't think this is gonna last too long. I think this is gonna be a very short ending, and we might finish this in the next 20 to 30 minutes. But I really wanted for this to drag on until the very end, because I am so interested in this story here. We still haven't heard the wish, right? We still haven't heard what Eito asked Siri for. I'm sure it was the infuser. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was the infuser, because I think he wants to battle Veshniz into... Because his one last wish for the SDU, or one last hope, rather, was that they won the war and got to live on. So, by defeating Veshniz himself, he would definitely secure that wish. So, I think that's one of the things he's going to attempt to do, and that's why he wanted the infuser back. Maybe someone watched me walking away from school until they could see me no more, and even that would be a little heartwarming for you, wouldn't it? Even that would be something.
Huh.
No, that's not possible. What am I hoping for? Nobody there cares about me. I'm nothing but a traitor. Bugged to betray. Wow, man. But then again, this terrible defect reflected the repulsiveness of its creator. Mankind itself. Yeah, Mike, this is so interesting. And I was equally repulsive for allowing them to lead me by the nose all this time. By the time I realized that, it was too late to do anything about it. I kept walking. My destination was second to last Defense Academy. Interesting. Siri had given me directions on how to get there when I left. He said it would give me a place to hide from inclement weather, and that there were probably leftover rations there as well. Siri likely told the others I would be heading there. Once they learn I won't be ending up in a ditch somewhere. Those who had been even the tiniest bit concerned about my welfare would surely be able to breathe easier. Personally, I'd rather they not feel a single shred of guilt, even if anything should happen to me. They didn't chase me out. I decided on my own that I would leave. Although Siri had given me directions, wandering through the ruins without sight, I couldn't tell for the life of me whether I was even going in the right direction. But if I wanted to keep going, I had to put faith in the path I had drawn up in my mind. Where is that path gonna lead you, I wonder? There was also one more thing keeping me going. I wonder what that is. That you want to fight Vaishnas? Oh, okay. We wanna see to their survival. So I hope we actually get to see this through to day 100, because this is really interesting. I wanted to witness how things would turn out for the others on day 100. They were special to me, even if we didn't manage to become friends. To someone like me, I used to be disgusted at the mere thought of having to coexist with hideous humans. I now knew those were just fake memories implanted into me. Still, these were people with whom I had spent a staggering amount of time.
Oh, oh God, oh God. Oh, don't you dare make me cry again. Oh my gosh. Even after discovering they were actually empty inside, that everything had been lies built on lies, they still chose to support each other and blaze a trail through destiny. There was nothing we could trust, nobody we could lean on. Fake memories, fake goals, fake backgrounds, fake families, fake friends, fake love. But it's still something that makes you emotional, isn't it? It still means something, even though it's all fake. And fake hatred. Oh my God. Oh my God. Empty vessels made of fabricated falsehoods. That was all we were. What could such people even believe in? Yet, they chose to believe in each other, and to fight for each other to the end. Their revolting appearance, smell, and voices still disgusted me to no end. But the feeling of camaraderie they shared was as real as they came, oh my God. Watching them had made me forget all I had done and start wishing for a future. Wishing I could be a part of that too. Holy shit, dude. Oh. Okay. That was good. Gosh, this is so interesting, man. I hope they do this more often in the future, where we get to see perspectives from other characters. And I hope, especially Hiruko, I feel like Hiruko would be a really interesting protagonist to have, because we had a little bit of Nozomi at the end of Farewell Last Defense Academy. But just getting to hear their thought patterns, the way that they see the world, and how this entire ordeal sort of affects them, it's so interesting to me. And God, Eito is such an interesting character. The philosophy and the dilemma inside of him is so, I guess, potent, and being on his shoes, it really puts in perspective just how unfair it all is. It's painful. I love it. God. To hate something for your entire life and realize that your hatred is all but fabricated, and then start seeing beauty in the place of that hatred, but not being able to be a part of it because your hatred has shaped your entire personality around them. That's so sad. But they weren't naive. Gouging my eyes out as a show of my commitment was never going to be enough to convince them to let a repeat traitor like me onto the team. I had been ready to face rejection, but deep down, for just a short, fleeting moment, you had hope. You were expecting to be accepted again. I entertained the thought that they might forgive me after all. Such an indulgent thought that was. When had I become so naive? The moment you became human again, Eito. The moment you became human again. That's the answer to your question. You became
naive. But now was not the time to dwell on such thoughts. I had to focus on walking. I'd arrive somewhere as long as I kept going. All I could do now was to keep walking and pray that I would eventually reach the second campus. Pray? No God would listen to the prayers of an empty shell like me. Darkness clung to me. From the skies above to the ground below, all I could see was unadulterated darkness. No gradients, no flickering, just plain blackness. I read in a book that humans invented fire out of their fear of the darkness of night. When I read that, I marked them as weaklings in my mind, and all of a sudden you start relating to that sentiment, don't you? You start being afraid of the dark. The birth of fire led to the birth of war. Humans would burn themselves up in the very same fire they sought. There would have been peace had they not created such a thing and simply endured the darkness of the night. How weak and hideous. I remember thinking that once. Now, however, I knew how wrong I had been. It was not that they feared the night or failed to endure the darkness. They were afraid not to have light by their side. I was trying to think what the next line was going to be. What a beautiful way to put it. What a beautiful way to put it. For light represented hope itself, exactly. And you were able to see a little glimmer of that light when you were in the SDU. And now it's all darkness. Your entire world is enveloped in darkness. And these eyes of mine would never see light again, exactly. Oh my gosh. Why was I feeling so sad about that when I utterly despised everything I saw in this world? And it's so beautiful because this really makes you reflect on how sometimes you truly only appreciate something until the moment you lose it. And I guess this is part of Ato's growth here. Losing the sense of sight makes you appreciate being able to see. Like, there's a really potent story about that in Adventure Time, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. In fact, it might be my favorite show of all time. And I just love that sort of exploration. It's so good. I don't think it's gonna reach a second to last Defense Academy 8X yet. You don't know. Oh, you still managed to reach it and it's destroyed. Damn, I guess the invaders found it and ended up destroying it. Jesus Christ, Ato. Someone please give this guy a hug. My God. Oh, this place. After a few days of non-stop walking, I stepped into a facility that felt all too familiar to me. Wait, he doesn't know if that's the first or the second academy. There's no way for him to know. Oh God. Oh God, that's so sad.
Huh.
Right. This is... It would appear that I managed to reach second to last academy after all. To be honest, I was beginning to wonder if Siri deliberately had given me the wrong directions.
Huh.
I guess it's not as wicked as I have imagined. Maybe that implies that the will of humanity isn't as wicked as you might have imagined. They have some compassion in them. I naturally drifted in the direction of the cafeteria once I was inside. Bro, oh, this is so sad. Bro, I don't want to cry again. I've already spent the last stream crying. Just the idea that he's so lonely in this kind of destroyed academy. Nobody else is around anymore. The entire world is dark. Like, I love what they're doing here. Kudos to them. This is amazing. I naturally drifted in the direction of the cafeteria once I was inside, at the place where everyone would gather, right? The place where you would meet everyone and see their ugly faces every single day. But now you can see no face. You can smell no human. The layout of the school was almost exactly the same as the other one, like I had been told. This place would shield me from the elements as I waited out the remaining days. There would be no fighting. I only had to wait here in safety until the missiles were launched and everything was over. But there were over 10 days left. I'd have to live in darkness until then. Or there was a faster way to end things. Are you talking about killing yourself? But you wanted to live out the days. What do you imply? Oh, I guess maybe he's like getting the idea of killing Veshnas himself. Maybe that's what he just thought about. Okay, yeah, this is the infuser. Yeah, okay, so I was on the right track. He's like talking about going to defeat Veshnas. I opened the heavy bag I had been carrying and traced my finger along what was inside. Okay, they're not showing us. Oh, wait. Okay, let's first check what's written behind him. 99 Schlech Natur. I don't know what that is. It's probably German or something. Yeah, that seems German. Can anyone translate that? I mean, I can do it. German to English. 99 Schlecht Natur. 99 naturally bad. Okay, so this translates to 99 bad nature. When you feel better, do you know? Okay, this. Oh, I think the other one is Latin. Wait, no, is it? What language is this, boys? Huh. Because, like, German didn't translate a lot of that. Huh. Leowen. Is that a name of a person? I don't know what this is. Like, maybe I'll look into it later. Points to his mom, but it looks like a Norwegian A. Yeah. I can't tell what this is. Anyway, I knew that it was even. I knew what it was, even though I couldn't see it. An undying flame bomb Siri had developed. Interesting, so it wasn't an infuser. Activated using hemoanima and powerful enough to take out even Veshnas. That's fair. Yeah, I knew he was going after Veshnas, but I thought he was gonna use his infuser. It might be Swedish or Norwegian. Doesn't look like Finnish. Yeah, honestly, I'm bad at that. I don't even know the difference. This miniaturized version was still more than capable of reducing a human body to ashes. Skin, bones, hair, everything would disappear. If Veshnas comes for you, I would like you to use this before she absorbs your cryptoglobin. That was what Siri said when he handed this to me. However, I was not able to discern his true agenda. Did he really want me to blow myself up and take Veshnas out with me? Or was he simply giving me a tool to euthanize myself like an animal? That's a good question. Honestly. I don't know, man. It's a hard question. First line says, if you have any questions. Interesting. Oh, I guess I don't know why I'm rolling back the script. Interesting. I'll try to translate that after the stream is over. There you are. Is that the infuser? I ran my finger over the detonator. Oh. Oh, it was the button. Everything would end when I pressed this button while infusing hemoanima into it. I would be freed from it all. Free from my fake memories, false hatred, and empty existence. Damn. Free from the man called Ato Aotsky. Aww.
Press it.
Whoa. Whoa. Oh, I got chills. He's like battling himself. Like there's one side of him that's like telling him to do it, and there's another side that's like reluctant towards it. Oh god.
Come on.
Oh god. Oh god.
It's all you have to do.
Oh god.
Why can't you just press it?
God damn it. My finger wouldn't respond, no matter how loudly and harshly I berated myself. Even though I knew pushing the button was all I needed to do to be freed from this pain. That's what human life is, Ato. It's not all pain. And at the end of the day, you can't get away with the pain. Get away from the pain. Because that also means giving up the good things about it. And there's still things you don't want to leave behind. It's Luxembourgish. Oh, I didn't even know those words, dude. I mean, I know what Luxembourg is. I don't even know how to pronounce them, is what I mean. I still couldn't do it. Wanting to witness how things turned out for the Special Defense Unit was merely an excuse. The actual reason I couldn't do it was because you were afraid. Damn. When I realized what this feeling was, I had to laugh. Despite myself, you're feeling afraid, exactly. I was afraid. Yep, I fucking knew it, bro. Oh my god, guys, I'm so close. Like, they're actually edging my tears on this. Afraid, all the human emotions. Afraid, fearful, spooked, daunted, anxious, just scared stiff. Death frightened me, even when I had nothing to live for. How could I not laugh at the irony of that? Death was no different from a life without purpose. Yet, I feared it. Because there is something in your life that means something to you, Ato. And now you just can't give up on it. I put the bomb on the floor, my hands trembling. Then I sat down on the floor as well and leaned against the wall. As I did, the fatigue from the few days of walking got to me, and I felt groggy all of a sudden. My consciousness disconnected in the silent darkness. Wouldn't it be nice if death visited me now, so that I would simply slip into an eternal slumber, never to awaken again? I wonder if that is such a reprieval thought as you make it out to be. But no, I would never be allowed to enjoy such a peaceful end. Whoa, is this a cutscene? This is a cutscene. Oh, it's not. Whoa. Are those future runs, I wonder? Those were definitely screams, but maybe there are future runs. Maybe Ato's gonna actually say future runs. Let's see. What was that? An unfamiliar voice screaming. I knew something was wrong when I woke up to that. I could always pretend like nothing had happened, but my feet were already moving in the direction to the screams. Yeah, you need to feel the presence of someone. It's like your entire body is launching towards that. As I ran, the smell of fire was so intense it was burning my nose. It was the stench of fighting. The screaming was coming from multiple people. Were they trying to get away from something? Yeah, who would that be? Like, who would attack the Futurans? Oh, okay, so it is actual Futurans? What are they fighting with? Like, I'm confused. I ran into the schoolyard and focused my hearing on what was happening outside the school. Maybe it's actually Veshinus, because Veshinus needs, like, battle pets, right? Maybe she's just hunting down for more armature. I could hear multiple sets of footsteps getting closer. Since I couldn't see their exact locations, I simply waved in the general direction of the sounds. Over here! I kept waving. That seemed to work. The frantic footsteps became louder and louder, or is it Veshinus? I raised my hands to indicate I wasn't holding any weapons. As I did, the approaching group stood a distance away from me. They were panting hard, as if they had been running for a long time. Wait a minute, who are these people? Definitely not the Special Defense Unit. Are they natives of this planet? Were you being chased? By whom? Nobody answered me. I didn't even know if we spoke the same language. Couldn't have been talking the others chasing them, so... Invaders?
Huh.
You can hide here if you want. This place was destroyed a while ago. It's unlikely anyone will come looking for you here. Still no response, but I could sense they were listening to me.
Huh.
The cafeteria here is stocked with more than enough food for all of us. The mystery group wasn't moving at all. I didn't even hear them whispering among themselves. Bro, like, I know exactly where this is going. Kazeto is gonna be sort of like protecting this small group of people. And in doing so, this is gonna get him to such an emotional peak where he's gonna realize that instead of destroying life is something that needs to be protected, and this is gonna be such an incredible development for him at the end of this little route we got ourselves in. And I'm just so curious to see the true end game. Is he actually gonna die at the end? Because I feel like that's the natural conclusion based on every bit of growth he's having. But I just love the setup for this as of now. I can see where you're going with this. They're probably communicating with each other non-verbally. Or maybe they were trying to decide who would get to attack me first. After all, to the natives of this planet, I was the invader. In case you haven't noticed, I'm blind. I don't know how many of you are here, and... Wait a second. Wait a second. I wonder if all of them are, like, mute or something. Whoa, that would be incredible, bro. Are they all mute? Bro, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is it like Ato's living the fucking silent voice arc, bro? I don't know how many of you are here and obviously won't be able to attack you. They scream, oh, that's right. I'm stupid. I find it interesting that there's like no response though. Maybe that's because like the way that they're framing this is weird. How they have like no response. I feel like maybe the ones that had voices, the ones that weren't mute, were killed. Unless the screaming was inside Ato's head. Yeah, I also thought of that. But there's a possibility that maybe these were like accompanied by a group of people who were able to speak, and then they were killed, and just these mute people survived. I don't know. I just find it interesting that there's no response, because we have talked to Futurans. They can very much talk, and we understand the same language at this point. So I don't know what's happening. The only way I can see this making sense is them being mute.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm heading back inside. Follow me if you intend to hide here. I turned my back on the mystery group and started walking. I was completely defenseless. If they killed me, they could have this hiding spot all to themselves. Yet, they followed after me politely. When I staggered, they would even stop and wait out of consideration for me. One step at a time, I went farther into the building with a hand on the wall, taking care to use a route that could not be seen from the outside. Finally, I found myself back in the cafeteria with the mystery group in tow.
Huh.
This place should be safe. You can eat anything you find here. After that, I went back to my usual spot and sat down again. Where was my bag? I remember I'd left it here. Don't let them explode the bomb, please. I felt around the floor next to me with my right hand for the bag that contained the undying flame bomb. Where was it? Where could it be? No, please. Oh gosh. Did someone actually drop it? Something heavy suddenly fell into my lap. Someone placed something there. Oh god, they're gonna be his eyes. They are gonna be his eyes now. They're gonna help him out. Oh, that's so sweet. He couldn't find his bag and they got it for him. Oh my god. Oh, bro, don't do this to me. I gingerly touched it with my fingertips. It was my bag.
Huh.
You found it for me? I asked my surroundings, but received no response. Like always, they are mute. They are definitely mute, bro. And you know what? Oh my god, I know exactly what's going on. Dude, the screams were inside Ato's head. Here's like the poetry of this. They are his eyes, while he is their ears. Well, or rather, he can, like, they can see for him, and he can hear for them. Does that make any sense? He was able to hear their screams, even though they are actually mute. Oh god, I love this. Oh god, I love this. I asked my surroundings, but received no response like always. I then put the bag on my shoulder so that I would never lose it again. Leaning against the wall, I let my hearing take over. Yeah. I heard a sound of rummaging for food. It didn't seem like they were interested in attacking me for now. It was likely they would leave once the enemies that were after them went away. Then I would be back to waiting for day 100 here, all alone. So that I could witness the ending that everyone made for themselves. Sometime later, I heard the sound of a can being opened. I guess they decided to eat the food that was here. They sat a cautious distance away, but were still close enough to keep an eye on me. I hoped they got to eat something they liked at least. Oh gosh. He's like so concerned about them. I love it. Guys, I don't want to cry. This is getting me so emotional. Beautiful writing. This is so good. Since I couldn't see, I couldn't even choose the kind of food I wanted to eat. That reminded me of the 5 cans of pickled fish I had to eat in a row last night. I inadvertently nodded off even though I hadn't been feeling particularly sleepy. I wonder if he's gonna wake up with all them, like, sleeping next to him. And thus, I fell asleep while being surrounded by an unknown number of natives. Perhaps it was because I felt no animosity from them, but you finally had a good night's sleep. I could sense they were friends as they huddled closely together to eat and rest in this unknown place. Maybe they were sharing their favorite foods with each other. Maybe they were exchanging jokes with each other so quietly that I couldn't hear. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, the tears are coming. Whatever it was, the atmosphere was like a comfortable blanket over my body, warming me up and making me sleepy. Like something I once had myself, up until a short while ago. How did I not realize sooner what a beautiful thing that had been? Holy shit. Ah, gosh. Yeah, I'm actually shedding tears right now. Somebody was shaking my shoulders. Oh god, someone is invading. Maybe Vashnis. I sensed that I had been surrounded by a few people who were looking down at me. Oh, hello. Interesting. We got some actual designs for them. What is it?
Why are you here?
Oh, you can actually hear them now. Interesting. I wonder why we weren't able to hear them before. It was the voice of a child, a young girl who seemed to be about 8 to 9. A native of this planet, a future child. Or maybe this is another one, right? Maybe this is another one. Thinking back, I realized I had never met anyone from this planet before. Neither during any defensive battles, nor when I was with Vashnis, because they're all hiding. That's the reason. Had they been isolated from the war? Maybe in a shelter of sorts, like the Tokyo residential complex? Yeah, they've been hiding from Vashnis and everyone, because they don't want to be turned into fucking battle pads.
Why are you alone?
Yeah, why are you alone, Aito? The girl asked again. Since she was speaking as their representative, they were likely a group of children. I could sense awareness in her tone of voice. It was as if this was a tense cross-examination, and my responses would determine their next course of action. Well, one thing led to another, and I wasn't allowed to stay with my friends anymore. That's why I came here by myself.
Why? What happened?
Yeah, you can't say you're a traitor, bro. I did something bad and ended up hurting the others. That's why I can't stay with him anymore. I love that he's being honest about this. Damn. Upon hearing me say something bad, the girl took one step back. An astute decision.
Were you forced out?
No, I went away of my own free will. Yeah, and that is telling of who you truly are on the inside, Aito. It's still too dangerous. Just because I don't want you back on the team doesn't mean I want to force you to leave the whole school. If you promise to stay in your cell and not interfere with any of us, you can stay. It was so like Takumi to say that. In fact, his words made me waver for a brief moment. I wanted to cling to those words, to selfishly feel like I had been forgiven. But it was pointless for me to stay. I don't belong there. I could never, ever forgive myself for doing the unforgivable to them. That's why I had to leave.
You can't go back anymore.
No, I can't go back anymore. That's why I'm here. What about you? Were you being chased by something? At that, I could hear the murmuring from behind the girl. They seemed to be discussing whether or not to reveal the answer to me. I wonder if only one of them is, I wonder if only one of them can talk and the other ones are mute. Because I still don't know why they were not saying anything. Maybe out of just, like, hesitation and fear of trusting Aito, but, it still feels weird the way they framed that to me.
We can't go back either.
What have you done? Why not? Were they forced out?
Because we broke our promise.
Aww. She sounded so very sad. I didn't know what the other Futurans looked like, having only seen the commanders. But it seemed that they felt sadness, the same way we did. What promise did you break?
We were told not to go outside, but we all went anyway because we thought we'd be okay. But we got lost and ended up in an unfamiliar place. Monsters kept chasing us and we got farther and farther away from home.
And that was how you ended up here? I think she must have nodded. There were other people living on this planet besides the commanders and invaders. At the very least, these children probably had to do with the war. Since they were being pursued, they were likely targets as well. They were targets, even though they had no way of fighting back, unlike us. You don't know how to go back?
No.
There should be a map somewhere in this facility. If you can't find it, you may be able to find a way back home. I wish I could help you look for it, but as you can see, I want to be very helpful in that department. So feel free to look for it yourselves. The children, other than the girl in front of me, immediately scattered about in all directions. Okay, so because they can hear you, so it seems like they're not mute. Likely taking my advice to look for the map. There had to be a map somewhere around, since maps were indispensable for warfare. They would surely find one if they split up. And once they did, they were likely to depart by tomorrow. I wonder if they're gonna take you with them. Leaving me alone here to wait for the end by myself. I heard a soft thud next to me, an indication that the girl in front had moved to sit down next to me. Aww. She was so close that I could touch her if I just stretched my hand out. You are being way too trusting here, Missy. Oh my god, he wants to feel a hug so bad. Oh my god. Or maybe she felt like I posed no danger because I couldn't see. It's not because you can't see. It's because she knows who you are based on how you portrayed yourself. And you haven't lied about that, so it carries an extra bit of conviction.
No chance of forgiveness.
Yep, you two are basically peas from the same pod. She relates to you. I love this. This is gonna end up in a hug, and it's gonna mess me up because it's always the hugs. It's always the fucking hugs that mess me up. Oh, you mean me?
Yeah. Aren't you sad you can't go back?
Nah, it's too late for me.
Why?
Good question. Because the mistake I made was too big to be atoned for. Nobody will forgive me. That's why I can't go back.
Okay.
She started chomping down ravenously on an open can of food. Most likely, these children simply wanted to take a peek at what was going on outside and had not planned to end up so far away from home. The possibility of not being able to make it back would have never occurred to them, since they broke their promise to the adults out of mere curiosity.
Maybe we won't be forgiven too.
Aww. She wondered out loud as she ate her food. Not being able to make it back home was not the only word on these children's minds. Yeah, they're worried about being forgiven. They also fear that, like me, they wouldn't be allowed back into the fold again. I could immediately think of a number of encouraging statements I had gleaned from the books that I had read, but you couldn't say anything because you have experienced yourself how tough it is to regain someone's trust. But then I would only be lying to them, something I was averse to doing to these children while Ato. However, that also meant that I now had nothing comforting to say to her. Being someone unforgiving myself, are you gonna hug her because you can't say anything? Are you actually gonna do that? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, it's gonna mess me up. Oh my god. In the end, I simply kept quiet, and she too said nothing more after that. When the children who had gone searching returned, they huddled back together. Their whispering voices eventually became softer and softer until everyone fell asleep. Okay, so man, I keep hedging myself with this. God damn it. It just felt like that was the moment. I saw it coming and it didn't come. With a hand on the bomb in my lap, I eventually drifted into slumber as well. I hate that bomb, bro. I hate that it's here. The next morning, I love that we just completely lost the sense of time. Oh gosh. I jolted awake when I felt my arm being tugged on. What happened?
Come with us.
That was bad voice acting on my side.
Come with us.
Oh. The children were already awake, but something was clearly wrong. They were as panicked as they had been when they first came here. Doesn't that look like Takemaru? It does look like Takemaru a little bit. Oh no, I think that's just them. I think that's just them, because I see the other ones now, and the other ones are next to it. They pulled me outside second to last Defense Academy. As I felt the wind on my skin, I could also smell the scent of blood mixed with it. Oh god, did one of them die?
Look there.
I'm sorry, but I can't see. I felt her hand that had been pulling me along suddenly let go, as if she had forgotten that I was blind. Can you describe what's going on?
The monsters are coming this way. I think they've realized there are people here.
How many?
Too many to count.
Some of the children were shouting while others were trying to calm themselves down. Some started crying and others got angry. Yeah, I tell you, you're gonna have to defend them. Nobody had expected this to happen. They left their home without thinking too deeply about the consequences. It likely never crossed their minds that leaving was tantamount to breaking their promise. Now they regretted it. They wish they had never left. Now that they were facing the grim reality of death, they are starting to give up. They resign themselves to the possibility that they might die without ever being forgiven. Did you find it?
What?
The way home.
Yes, we found a map. But there's no point. We still can't go back.
Why not? Because of the monsters? Or because you might not be forgiven for breaking your promise? If anything, these children's parents are so desperate. It's gonna be the most relieving moment of their lives to see these children again. And it is gonna show Eito that even in such a hopeless spot, there's still, people who might accept him. There's still room for forgiveness, despite of the things he's done. No answer. Perhaps it was a little bit of both. How about these? Oh, how about this? I'll hold those monsters back and you guys run away once you find an opening.
That isn't going to work. You can't fight.
Hey, you give me too little credit. I'm actually pretty strong and I even have a weapon.
But you can't see.
I'll make it work somehow. Anyway, can you do what I just said?
But we broke our promise. Everyone must be so mad at us.
The sound of rumbling and stomping became louder and louder even as we spoke. I didn't need to use my enhanced hearing to know this was clearly a large army. Not as many as the ones we've faced in our defensive battles, but more than enough to cause a group of helpless children to despair. Time was quickly running out. I had to convince these children to flee right now. Listen, I won't say everything will be fine. That would be really irresponsible of me, since I have no idea if you'll be forgiven for what you did. Instead, I'll tell you something I want you to remember. Words from the bottom of my heart. What are you gonna say, Eito? From a person whose life is based on made-up memories, goals, and grudges. Your life is valuable, your life is precious. Please live, or what? Feelings I hadn't been able to convey until now. You were loved?
Forgiveness isn't something dispensed on the spot, but based on the actions you choose to take after the mistake.
Well fucking sad, dude. Ah. Yep. I don't have anything to add to that. That was beautiful.
So the most important thing is, what will you do from now on?
So,
If you want forgiveness, work hard to gain it, instead of dwelling on your mistakes.
hell yeah, Eito. What a beautiful conclusion to this character, man.
While there's still time for you to redeem yourself.
What do we do from now on?
I took out my infuser and drove it into my chest. We're gonna see like an Eito transformation, bro. There were likely no commanders among the approaching swarm. I could take a group of minions by myself. Now, go! Oh, you already transformed? We didn't get to see? Come on.
But what about you?
I said go! I shouted at them angrily. The girl bolted at my command and the other children quickly followed. Their little footsteps eventually faded into the distance. Good. Get as far away as you can. This strategy of mine wouldn't work otherwise. The next thing I heard was heavy stomping, indicating the invaders were marching ever closer. Bro, he's not even gonna fight, is he? He's not even gonna fight, is he? He used his last bit of strength to save these children. I gripped my weapon tightly and waited for them to get close. They would be pleasantly surprised to find me here. It was quite likely they would prefer to hunt a planet invader like me over native children. Yeah, you're just luring them to you. You're gonna buy them time so they can escape. Oh god. The children wouldn't be pursued. They would be safe as long as I could keep the enemies here. Exactly, he's talking so much about distracting them for long, he's not gonna fight. Well, here goes nothing. He's gonna drop the infuser. Oh. Ah! What is happening? I could sense my class weapon tearing the enemy apart with that swing. Okay, so he's still fighting. Okay, never mind. Boy. Good. Let me follow that up with right, left, front, back. The invaders started attacking non-stop. Whenever I felt something hit my body, I would swing my weapon in that direction. I would have thought the worst. I was ready for him using the bomb. Yeah, I didn't think he was gonna use the bomb, but yeah. It worked because it guaranteed I would hit something. I kept repeating this while moving around. However, I'm afraid he might actually hit a kid or something. I'm actually very terrified. Well, this was a shame. I thought I would have lasted longer than this. I had underestimated the sheer force of their numbers. The skull invaders lunged at me as one when I left myself open after an attack. My class armor protected me, but it had its limits. Since my data had been removed from the Revival-matic again, I would be killed for real if I continued fighting. But I couldn't let them kill me. They would continue chasing the children if they did. Aww. I had to take out every last invader here, and now if I wanted the children to be safe. But why? Just my pride, I suppose. Damn. Damn, so I do believe he might even use the bomb, actually. Even I had my pride. Ending a defective life by using it to protect someone else wasn't that bad of an idea. Although my efforts to gain forgiveness came a tad bit too late, I was still a former member of the Special Defense Unit. And what is the Special Defense Unit? But people who give their lives to protect others. That said, I also knew I was fighting a losing battle. At my current strength, I couldn't fight this many enemies at once. I couldn't even be proper bait or stall for time. Only one thing left to do then, oh boy. A concerted attack knocked my class weapon out of my hand. Now you've done it. The invaders surrounded me, now defenseless, and started battering me with all their might. Excruciating pain rippled through my body despite the protection of the class armor. I thought I might lose consciousness before death paid me a visit. The weight on top of me became heavier and heavier. More and more invaders were piling on me, so that they might kill me. That'll do. That'll do just fine, aww. It's time. Oh, it's the bomb. Yep, there it is. I reached inside the bag I had been shielding with my body and touched the button that would detonate the bomb. Damn.
Huh?
The answer to your question is yes, that is indeed possible, what, to redeem yourself? But what would even be the point? Very well, I assume I get to choose which memories to implant. Oh, wait a second. He asked for memories to be implanted. Interesting. Huh. That's actually very interesting. What did you ask for, Ato? I'm so curious, I have no idea, honestly. Did he ask for some sort of, like, happy memories? I don't know, actually. I'm so confused. Even though all that does is deepen the emptiness in your heart. Well, I certainly won't stop you if that is what you want. I would have preferred for you to become a proper war asset instead of whatever this is.
Yeah.
That is my honest opinion. I asked Siri for a favor back then. He took me to the infirmary and carried out the requested procedure. Memory manipulation. At first, I thought about asking him to erase all of my memories. Everything would be gone. Sadness, anger, remorse, everything. But it was only right for me to die as my own self. My own buggy, corrupted, and defective self. I was the burden I had to bear until the bitter end. So I made that selfish request. What did you ask for? Aww, he wished to remember all of them. By the way, Dorami swimsuit. He wished to remember all of the characters together. Oh my god, I can't believe, dude. I can't believe it, dude. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, look at him. Holy shit, dude. Oh, that's so adorable, man. That is so adorable. Fucking Kyoshika and Dadami, man. Memories of me having a great time with everyone, while being aware of the duplicity of these memories, that they were all lies. Aww. Yeah, here I was right now, surrounded by the warmth and happiness I felt back then.
Takumi. Everyone.
What are you gonna say? Thank you?
It's unfortunate I won't get to witness how things turn out for you. But I'm praying for your victory. No, actually, I'm praying for your happiness from the bottom of my heart.
Where's the explosion? Aw, that's just how it ends. Wow. Holy shit. Goodbye, Ato. Praying for your happiness. God damn. Aw, that is a top tier ending. Not an S tier, I wouldn't say, but definitely a high A tier. That was so good. Oh, that was so good. Gosh. Man, this is one of the few routes that made me emotional, sad, and miserable. That is such a good ending. My God. Writing-wise, this is impeccable. I love the ambiguity in this. I love what they did with Ato here. Sacrificing his life for the sake of random people he just met. Because as of now, he feels like instead of exterminating people, he should be trying to save them. So, I thought they were going to do that with Nozomi, but I think the idea that he does that for children of another species, is actually incredible. And I love that they do a POV for Ato. This is actually phenomenal. It's so rare for stories to do that, especially stories like this. And it honestly always, not always, but when it's done right, it hits, right? It's such a good narrative device to use, and putting you in Ato's shoes to see just the world from his own eyes, which is kind of ironic because he doesn't even have any eyes, but just to get to see the way he thinks about everything and how everything he has lived up until now has shaped him into who he is now, and how in this world you can't guarantee forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't something that you just are. Forgiveness isn't something that you buy or that you convince people to give you. It's something that you earn based on your actions after you make a mistake, right? People are not gonna forgive you for nothing, right? You can't try to sort of bribe them into forgiving you. You can't guarantee forgiveness, and you need to be ready to be not forgiven as well. But at the end of the day, just the idea that he's willing to sacrifice himself, willing to use his own life, that he struggled to end on his own, but for the sake of others, he was okay with ending it, I think is just the perfect way to end his character. Because you could see he didn't want to die a meaningless death. He didn't want to die a death where he just eased the pain from his own mind, because there was still unfinished business. There was still a lot of guilt inside of him, and I feel like the way he found to redeem himself, the way he found to be okay with dying, was to use his life for the sake of someone else. And for someone who has been the most selfless character in the entire game, I feel like there's no way better to end his character. That's such a good route. Gosh. Beautiful stuff. And just like the writing in general was very well done, very well paced. The inner dilemmas and philosophical debates inside of him were really well done. About translation of stuff on Eto's clothes, it's something like 99 bad nature. If you really love them, you can always feed yourself, so life and death don't matter. Huh. If you really love them, you can always feed yourself, so life and death don't matter. Or alternative, 99 bad by nature. If you really like it, you can feed yourself with it, so life and death are irrelevant. That makes me think of the fabricated memories, honestly. Which is ironic considering his redemption. Yeah, the whole point of it is to have a death with meaning, right? The whole point is that death and life actually have meaning. But the first part makes me think of his of his fabricated past. If you really like it, you can feed yourself with it. The memory manipulation, rather, of him like actually making peace with the fact that there is these memories inside of him that are fake, but they still mean something. So they even double down on it and asked the Earth to create fake memories because he really enjoyed those, and he wanted to feed himself with them. He wanted to nourish those things inside of him. So I guess all of those are really interesting, considering just how this arc ends, and I like that they reveal that at this point, right? I feel like there's many ways you can read that. That's just my initial impressions of it. Very interesting. Praying for your happiness. Oh, I need to write down these route names. Where's my endings chart? Endings. Number 2. Reset route. Welcome to Last Defense Academy. And route 3. Goodbye, Ato. Route. Praying for your happiness. Interesting. Okay. He cared about the SDU. He didn't care about living or dying, but about Takumi and the others. At least that's my take. That's one way to see it. The way I saw it during that route was that because he couldn't like end his own life. I feel like the point of that development, at least in the way I interpreted it, was that he finally found that life does have a meaning, and he couldn't just throw his life away. He was afraid of doing that. And why would you be afraid if life does not have any meaning? And he felt like his life was rotten at that point, and I feel like the only way to redeem himself was to use that life for some purpose other than himself, because for the entire game he's been selfish. He's always been following his own agenda, and as a climax to that development, I would say he uses that life for someone else. He sacrifices himself so his life actually has meaning, right? But like it's like that doesn't invalidate what you said. Like that's definitely one way you could read it. You could read it as none of the two actually having any meaning to him, right? Maybe your actions are what actually matters. Oh, and you actually only see like Ato highlighted, and it was day 88 that he actually does all that. Very interesting route, dude. I'm conflicted whether or not I should continue this. I feel like I'm very comfortable in calling it here. That's a good stopping point. Because I think I'm gonna stream this tomorrow again. I feel like that's just a really solid stopping point, and two very good endings. One of them very bait heavy, and the other one just very beautiful and well written. I'm very satisfied with this. This entire branch of the game is impeccable. Like, wow, I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. I feel like this might just be maybe the best branch of the entire game. I'm very curious to see what the other choices are going to lead us to, because before that, we have the choice to abandon humanity instead to keep fighting. So I wonder what that's going to lead us to. That should be another interesting route. And before that, we have protect Ava instead of letting Shoma kill her, even though she... Oh, never mind. So yeah, this could lead us to an interesting route as well, because then we're never gonna learn the truth, supposedly, right? We're never gonna learn that that our pasts are actually fabricated. This could be interesting. Anyway, that was cool. I guess I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I don't know. I actually don't know when I can stream this. I believe I'm gonna stream it tomorrow again. Let me just check something here. Catch you tomorrow for the last time, then we gotta wait New Year. Then we gotta begin the jokes, the New Year jokes. Tell me something. Would you be free for the same time tomorrow? For the stream? Because you said to have a dinner tomorrow, but I don't know if that dinner would be like overlapping with this stream. Because I could also do one in the morning. I could go either way, honestly. Either way works for me. I wouldn't, because I'm out for dinner, and I assume they'll want to stay out until past midnight to celebrate. Okay, what about the morning then? You're free in the morning? Because then I just schedule it to the morning so nobody misses it. By the way, we have 49 endings, bro. Morning is fine. Fire. Actual fire. Like, 49 endings. We're almost halfway through the game, which is insane. Like, unbelievable. Would be cool if we got an extra ending tomorrow, so we can say that we did half of the game in 2025, and then we're gonna do the other half in 2026. That would be pretty fire. If it's at the usual time, I can come back from the shop before lunch. Beautiful, yeah, usual time. It's gonna be at the usual time. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's gonna be very fun. I'm super interested. Like, I'm so into this route. You know, not this route, but just this branch. Like I said, such a good junction of so many great little narratives. I am so in love with it. By the way, I didn't even comment on it, but I was like internally going crazy over Dadami's swimsuit. I need like better angles at that. Oh, fucking Christ. Because I was like just trying to focus on the story at hand, so I didn't want to like deviate from the subject. Oh man, great stuff, great stuff. Anyway, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Thanks for showing by. As always, you guys rock, and have a good night. See you then.